If you've clicked on this video, then you probably know what armadillo mining is. Armadillo mining has taken Skyblock by storm because of the sheer amount of money making potential it has. You thought Ruby and Jade mining was good? Well, Armadillo makes around 50 or even 60 million coins per hour if you're really good at it. And that's just absolutely crazy. But that begs the question, is Armadillo mining really as good as it seems? Well, in this video, I'm going to be explaining some serious drawbacks to this and why I personally believe that Jade and Ruby mining are actually better alternatives. And just before I start, to any mining sweats out there, no, this video is not saying Armadillo mining is bad. I'm just stating a couple of reasons why it may not be as good as it potentially may seem to a lot of people at first. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Alright, so before I go into why I hate armadillo mining, that was a joke by the way, I'm just going to go over some reasons why it's actually so attractive. Firstly, I think we all know this, it's just the sheer amount of money that you can make. Now, I'm no real mining sweat and I don't claim to be one at all, but if you want a good guide about how to do it and how much money you can actually make, I recommend Implodent because he makes pretty good guides. And yeah, he's a pretty maxed out mining sweat. Now the second reason why I believe armadillo mining is so attractive is because with the armadillo you don't have to worry about mining speed, which actually means that it turns out to be cheaper. You don't need to buy a scapher or anything because the armadillo is basically like dirt cheap. On top of this, you have to require less powder because you don't actually need to invest any into mining speed, which means that you can actually make a decent amount of money if you only even have like 2 mil powder. And for you powder grinders out there, I know that sounds like a really good deal. So that being said, why would you not do armadillo mining? Easily, the worst thing about this is the sheer amount of setup time. Firstly, you have to go find a spiral or a throne room in a precursor remnants, and this can probably take anywhere from around 20 minutes to about an hour. These structures are so sought after that in the Mining Cult Discord, there's literally a channel where you can like pay for these locations. Personally for me, if I want to do a money making method, I don't really want to have to spend like possibly an hour setting it up. I want to be able to have a money making method that I can just jump in and go, right, I'm going to start now. And personally, I only really think that armadillo mining is, to be honest, worth it if you're playing for like 5 hours at a time. And the problems don't end there. Even if you find one of those spiral and throne rooms, the veins may be damaged or unprotected from the armadillo, and the chances that there's already someone there is really high because of the popularity of the armadillo mining. To give an example, I was just wandering around the precursor remnants thinking, oh, I could do some armadillo mining. I come across a spiral. There are 4 people in that same structure. I mean, come on man, there's no hope for this game. And even if you find a structure that is completely empty, completely perfect, what usually happens about 50% of the time, a griefer comes into your lobby and starts just bombing your whole place. Or alternatively, he'll just come and just mine your gemstones. Yeah, it's awful. And personally for me, even though you have a really good chance of making some really serious money, that really does not outweigh the sheer amount of setup time and the high chance that you just have to start the whole setup time process again. It's just not worth it for me. Especially when you look over Jade and Ruby mining, which although there is a little bit of setup time, especially with Ruby mining with like the Ruby routes and stuff, it's not close to how much time you have to set up armadillo routes. And I know that Ruby mining and Jade mining is a little bit more expensive and it does require a bit more powder because you have to actually invest powder into mining speed. I am more than happy to sacrifice like 20-25 mil an hour, but the fact I don't risk like just an hour of wasting my time just running around aimlessly in the crystal hollows trying to find a goddamn structure. So you might be left wondering what the purpose of this rant about armadillo mining was. And all I just want to say is I just want to say to new players that it's not necessarily a good idea on just having your heart set out on armadillo mining because you've seen this really lucrative like 40 million, 45 million plus per hour numbers. And unless you're willing to take the risk of paying like some money to find the structures and also hoping that it doesn't get griefed, then, you know, be my guest. But for me, I'd rather just take the slightly less rates, however way less time to set up, of just having Ruby or Jade mining. And I just wanted to highlight some risks that people may not actually realize about armadillo mining and why it's not as good as it may seem. And anyways, that's probably going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed, then you know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And with that, thank you for watching to the end of this video, and hope you have a good day.